I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Music Theory Tuition series where I work with you step by step through the ABRSM Discovering Music Theory grades. I'll work through every single exercise and explain everything you need to know. You can access information about the books I have available to help you on my website. Go to sharonbill.com. For advert-free and longer lessons, you can become a patron at patreon.com/SharonBill. If you can give me a like, that would be super, and please do subscribe to my channel to stay updated. You can support this channel by buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/SharonBill. We press on now to page 14 of the Grade 4 Discovering Music Theory workbook, and we're looking at grouping notes and rests. And basically, if you read through all of the information here, we see that basically each new beat requires a new rest, and we join and beam things together, or we write notes in such a way that we can clearly see where each new beat starts, whether that's crotchet beats or dotted crotchet beats. We tend to beam things in crotchet beats or dotted crotchet beats, compound time or simple time if we're grouping in twos or threes. We don't really extend beyond that, otherwise we get lost, apart from 3/8, the odd one out, where we can just beam everything together. And of course we don't beam over the middle of a bar when it's 4 beats per bar. And it really does make a massive difference. So remembering that every new rest requires a new beat, we look at exercise 9 and we need to show clearly where each new beat starts. But we don't want to get bogged down in too many rests, so it's kind of making those judgment calls to show where each new beat starts, but then being as concise as we possibly can after that. Anything we can do to make it easier for the performer to read. So we need to show if these rests are correct or not. So here we're counting 6 crotchet beats per bar, which we know is duple compound time. So we need to show each new dotted minim, because we need to show 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So this is exactly correct here, because we can't put a minim beat here because we need to show the end of beat 1 and the start of beat 2. We'd have to split it, and so here we definitely need 2 separate rests. Whereas here, this is unnecessarily complicated, because here's dotted minim beat 1, and then the second half of the bar could just as easily be shown as a dotted minim rest. There's no need to have this separate rest, so that's not correct. Now here we've got sort of smaller divisions. So there's crotchet beat 1, there's crotchet beat 2, there's crotchet beat 3. That's correct. And then here we've got 1, 2, 3, that's showing our dotted minim, so that is also correct. So perhaps now you sort of transplant that into the next time signature, but now we're just grouping in smaller time divisions. But each new beat requires a new rest. We still need to show where each new beat falls. So do press pause and have a go. The best way is to just have a go, and then we can check it through together. So let's check through the rest of exercise 9. So 9/16 we know is compound triple time, and it's 3 dotted quaver groups. So there's group 1, there's group 2, there's group 3, and you can see that quaver rest is the start of beat 2, completing those 3 semi-quaver beats, which make our second dotted quaver beat of the bar. So that's correct. But then here, this isn't correct, because we need to see 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And so this quaver must be split to show the end of beat 1 and the start of beat 2. Just as we saw here, we're just using smaller note values, but the principle is exactly the same. And so what we should have here is 1, 2, 3 semiquavers, 1, 2, 3 semiquavers. We do need to show the end of beat 1, the beginning of beat 2, so that's incorrect. Now here we have 1, 2, 3, that's a dotted quaver, and then here we have 1, 2, 3 dotted quaver, and then here we have 1, 2, 3 semiquavers. So we definitely need both of those rests, so we can clearly see beat 1, beat 2, beat 3, that's correct. And then here, this is exactly correct, because although notes we could have, instead of having 2 dotted quavers, we could have the note value of a dotted crotchet. We can't do that with rests. Every new beat requires a new rest, so we need to show beat 1, beat 2, beat 3. That's exactly what we need to do there. Moving on to exercise C. Now here we have 3 meaning beats per bar. This is simple time. We have 1, 2, 3 meaning beats. And so we've got the same problem here as we've had here, here and here, where we need to show the end of beat 1 and the beginning of beat 2. We need to finish meaning beat 1, start meaning beat 2, which we have to do crotchet plus crotchet equals minim, crotchet plus crotchet equals minim, so that's incorrect. So now we can see beat 1, beat 2, beat 3, 3 meaning beats per bar, that's exactly right. And then here we have, so there we have a crotchet. Now a quaver, half of a quaver is a semiquaver, and then we have a demi-semiquaver's worth, which with this demi-semiquaver we know that 2 demi-semis give us a semi, and so with the rest we can see that that's completed the second crotchet. So with this, there's our minim beat, and then this half a beat and half a beat gives us a crotchet, which with this 2 quavers, there's another crotchet, so there's our minim beat. So we have altogether beat 1, beat 2, beat 3. That's exactly right, because we're showing the end of minim beat 1, the start of minim beat 2. And then here, finally, although this looks like it might be correct, we don't need the dot, because if you remember, apart from 4/2, the semi-breve rest just means a complete bars rest no matter what the time signature. So we don't need to worry about kind of actually filling the maths. We just quickly shorthand full bars rest, so that's incorrect. And then we have 2 dotted crochet beats per bar. Now this looks like it could be correct, but we've come across this before in previous grades. Remember, we can have crochet beat rest, quaver note, but we can't have quaver note, crochet beat rest. We have to have quaver, quaver, quaver. And the only way that makes sense to me is we have a dotted crochet, so we can see the crochet and then kind of the quaver rest. We don't have dot crochet, which is kind of the note and then a crochet beat rest. So that's kind of one of those odd one out rules we have to watch out for. So that should be showing the quaver beat rest, so that's wrong. Here we have 2 in the time of 3, and then we have 1, 2, and there's our third quaver beat, that's correct. Now this is a bit confusing because this says 2 in the time of 3, but there are 3. So actually that should either be a triplet or we've got a rest too many, haven't we? So that's wrong, that just doesn't make sense at all. And then here we have a dotted crochet and a dotted crochet rest. There's beat 1, there's beat 2. That's correct. And so that's the end of that page. hope this is helpful to your studies. Please do like and subscribe to stay updated. If you'd like to support this channel, you can buy me a coffee, and for advert-free lessons, you can become a patron. Do visit my website where you'll find many resources available to help you. Visit sharonbill.com. Thanks for watching. Bye.